In 2016, my family moved into my grandparents' old house when they decided to downsize. I was just 9 years old. The property was a vast 5-acre lot nestled at the edge of a small southern town, surrounded by thick woods, wild fields, and a muddy river curling along our fence line. Our only neighbors lived in a strange, sagging farmhouse that looked like it was stitched together from spare parts. Built in the 1920s, it had been expanded over the years in the most disjointed ways, like someone had glued extra rooms onto it with no real plan. The place always looked damp, like it was rotting from the inside out, even on sunny days. The yard was a nightmare. Broken fountains swallowed by weeds, headless gnomes, plastic bags fluttering in tree branches, and a rusted lawnmower left to die mid-job. It was the kind of place you instinctively avoided, the kind that made you hold your breath walking by. Living there were 2 elderly sisters, Violet and Agnes, and 3 kids. Violet was quiet, always in her green rocking chair on the porch. Agnes, sharper and more energetic, still moved like her bones protested every step. The kids were their grandkids, Liam, who was my age, and his younger twin sisters, Allison and Kelsey. Liam was strange. I didn't like him, but because we were in the same class, I couldn't avoid him. He'd show up uninvited, walk right into our house like it was his. I once caught him doing cannonballs in our pool. Another time I turned around mid-game and he was just there in my room. He never knocked, he never called, he just appeared. Worse, he was obsessed with anime and always muttered things in Japanese, getting visibly angry when I didn't laugh or understand. Sometimes he'd get this far-off look, dark and violent. Once he chased me with a pair of sharp garden shears. Another time he tried pushing me off a bridge near the creek behind our properties. He said it was a joke, but the way he smiled said otherwise. The twins were different, quiet, often ignored. Their clothes were always dirty and they had trouble speaking. No one at home seemed to care for them. They flinched when touched and always looked hungry. Their mother, Teresa, was unsettling. The first time I met her, she asked for help with the water spigot by our shared fence. I turned it with ease and she clapped her hands like I was some kind of hero. Then with a warm smile, she said something I'll never forget. "Did you know you have a third eye?" I blinked in confusion. "Not a physical one, a spiritual one," she said. "It helps you see the truth." Before I could ask what she meant, she invited me into her house.
The inside hit me like a wall of rot.
Garbage bags torn open, rotting food, dirty diapers, filth everywhere. But Teresa's room upstairs, spotless, pink wallpaper, shelves lined with porcelain dolls. It smelled like perfume and rosewater. She asked me to sit and pulled out a black candle, a crystal, and a thick book with a pentagram on the cover. The moment I saw that symbol, I knew I had to leave. "Sorry, my mom wants me home," I blurted and ran. Years passed. In 2019, Agnes died of a heart attack right there in the house. I heard she collapsed in front of the kids. At the funeral, everyone was strangely unemotional, except for one woman I'd never seen before who sobbed so loudly it echoed. No one acknowledged her. That same year, Liam disappeared. The story was he tried to hurt one of the twins and was sent to a psychiatric facility. My parents sat us down and made it clear we were never to go near that family again. It was then everything clicked. All the strange behavior, the tension, the fear. Eventually, the family moved away. Everyone except Violet. She died alone in that decaying house in 2020. The house went up for auction and one of my former teachers, Mrs. S., bought it. They tore down most of the structure except for the original 1920 section, the same part where Teresa's room had been. When she invited us to see the renovations, I went. It was stunning, open floor plan, brand new everything. But when I walked into what used to be Teresa's room, I felt sick. The pentagram wasn't there physically, but I could still feel it. That room remembered. A few years later, Mrs. S. asked me to dog sit for a week. The first few nights were normal, quiet, peaceful. But on the last night, one of the dogs began barking uncontrollably at the staircase. The other whimpered and backed away. Then, a loud thump came from upstairs. Another thump followed. I didn't stay to find out what it was. I slammed the door behind me and ran home. That feeling that something was watching me, it never left. Now it's 2025. We hadn't heard about the family in years, until recently. A girl from school said she saw Teresa at a farmer's market in another town. Apparently, she started a religious group and now calls herself a truth seer. They live in a mobile home community deep in the woods. Flyers have started popping up on telephone poles. They call it.
I don't trust her. I think Teresa is truly evil. She neglected her children, left her mother to die in that house, and I know. She brought something dark into it. Something that never left. To this day, I have nightmares. Teresa and Liam appear, standing at the foot of my bed, staring silent. The new paint, the furniture, the renovations, they're just surface level. That house remembers, and I don't think it ever let go of what happened inside.